did you feel as though the 1980s were uniquely different growing up than, say maybe the 1970s or 90s and so on?
They felt different to me. Now, I kind of missed the 90s because like I got married and then I was in grad school for the second half of the 90s. And, the grad school experience is not one where you're really experiencing much of anything besides the grad school. Um, but the 80s did feel different to me. And I think they felt in a couple of ways. Um, it was clear to me even at the time, and I was, I guess, 12 years old when Reagan was elected, that Reagan began to bring a change in the national mood. I mean, the contrast between the way he presented himself and the country and its future with, say, Jimmy Carter and talking about malaise, like even as a kid, I'm like, whoa, there's like a different, like there's something changing here. And in retrospect, I argue about this with Patrick Hamilton on our podcast all the time. I think part of that optimism in the 80s it felt to me then and feels to me now very plastic. Like the 80s felt very inorganic to me in terms of the music, in terms of the fashion. I don't know. There's something about the 80s that I didn't connect with, I think, in terms of because I think like the plasticity of the material culture reflected, I don't know, the spirit of the 80s as well, which was to me very superficial and very sort of me oriented. And the whole kind of, it was at Wall Street where they say greed is good. And I think Oliver Stone means it as a critique. But my college roommate, I remember him, like, it was his mantra, greed is good. Like the assumption that greed is good. Yeah. So I would say, generally speaking, the 80s didn't resonate with me very well.